And welcome to This Is Now. 3 former officials of the Kirk Caldwell administration will plead guilty in federal court for the conspiracy around the secret retirement payout to former Chief Louis Kealoha. Former top city lawyer Donna Leong, former police commission chair Max Sword, and former managing director Roy Amamiya appeared at U.S. District Court this morning. They were scheduled for trial in March. Instead, they have reached plea agreements with the U.S. Attorney's Office of San Diego, which prosecuted Chief Kealoha and his wife Catherine. That case led to the charges against the 3 officials after they engineered a $250,000 payoff to get Kealoha to leave the police department. Leong and Sword were charged with arranging the payment and trying to keep it secret and not seek approval of the city council. Leong was also charged with 5 counts of lying to the FBI. They agreed to plead guilty to the indictment, pay $100,000 fines, and serve a 1-year term of supervised release. Amamiya will plead guilty to a misdemeanor, pay a $50,000 fine, and have the charge dismissed after successfully completing supervised release. Only Hawaii News Now was there as the details were discussed in a status conference with Judge Leslie Kobayashi, who said she would accept the plea agreements and issue the sentences on March 4th. In our other top story, another arrest in the case of a man set on fire while sleeping in a limousine in Kalihi back in December. Honolulu police booked 36-year-old Jordan Topinio Sunday evening on a charge of first-degree robbery. Police also arrested 45-year-old Kau'i Manners and 35-year-old Darrell Lee for second-degree murder. All are being held without bail. The investigation continues this morning into an officer-involved shooting on Maui that left 1 woman dead. Maui police received an abuse call case in Pukalani at about 3:45 Saturday afternoon, but when they got to the scene at a home on Noho Place, they were met by a woman with a knife. It's unknown what exactly happened next, but an officer opened fire, killing the woman. Police living in the home tell us they called MPD for help in escorting her off their property.
My son called the police and told him that, he wanted help. And if they could just get her out of the house.
Before someone got hurt.
The first thing my son said was, please don't hurt anybody.
And
they just shot her in my house.
The investigation remains ongoing. No further information is available at this time. A formal briefing will occur next week.
No officers were injured. HPD arrested a man for attempted murder this morning following an apparent stabbing in the Chinatown area. We're told this happened around 12:20 a.m. Police say 2 men got into a verbal argument, which then escalated into a physical fight. One of the men eventually stabbed the other with an unknown object. HPD later found the 46-year-old and arrested him for attempted murder in the second degree. No word on the condition of the man who was allegedly stabbed. The investigation is ongoing. And a 15-year-old boy is recovering after he was shot in Palolo Valley. EMS crews treated the boy on Ahe Street around 1:30 a.m. on Saturday before rushing him to the hospital. We're told he was in serious condition, and police have opened an attempted murder investigation. Well, the state is still recovering from last week's powerful winter storm. A brown water advisory remains in effect for the islands of Maui and Hawaii. Kauai's Honolulu Bay is also under an advisory. State health officials are advising beachgoers to stay out, saying water may contain higher than normal pollutants. And in East Oahu, both lanes of Kalanianaole Highway near Sea Life Park are open once again after sinkhole repairs. A full closure of the road in the area was in effect on Saturday, but the highway is back open after the project was finished ahead of schedule. On Maui County, a boil water notice has been issued to Kula residents who lost water service during the storm due to a water main break in Hapapa Gulch. Residents of Ihe Place, Kanail Road, Lower Kula Road are advised to boil their water before using it. Water tankers are available at the bottom of Kopp Road and Kula Highway and Kula Community Center and Ching Store. A full list of impacted areas is up on our website, hawaiinewsnow.com.
Well, happy Monday, everybody. Want to take you outside, show you what we're seeing across the entire island chain right now. These are the conditions in town. East-northeasterlies around 8 miles per hour. A couple of clouds in the sky out there, but the sun is out across most of the state. 79 degrees for a temperature right now. Expanding this out throughout the rest of this afternoon. Fair weather is expected. We're in the green, seeing nice conditions throughout the majority of this week. The other thing that we're seeing, at least the only other advisory that we have up across the state, is these high surf advisories on north-facing shores. They're going to continue until 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Large surf is expected out there. You can take a look at the actual numbers. North-facing shores around 12 to 16 feet. West-facing shores 5 to 7. This is for this afternoon. Coming up on my full forecast, I'll give you a breakdown on the island-by-island forecast and what you can expect throughout the rest of this week.
Sounds good, Drew. Thank you very much. In national news, President Trump has announced tariff policies, a move against foreign countries he claims are abusing Americans with their trade practices. Erica Brown has more.
President Donald Trump says his threats of tariffs are already paying off.
Let me tell you, in all cases, they all want to make deals. There's nobody that doesn't want to make deals. They've been abusers, and they want to make deals. So
Trump confirmed a 1-month delay for the 25% tariff on Mexican imports after a call with Mexico's president Monday, where she agreed to ramp up security at the border.
10,000 soldiers permanently, like forever, 10,000 soldiers at their side of the border and stop fentanyl and illegal aliens.
Trump said he's also speaking with Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and is scheduled to talk with China's president soon, with tariffs set to begin Tuesday. There are also fast-moving developments with USAID, the U.S. government agency primarily responsible for delivering foreign aid. Elon Musk has said he has approval from the president to shut it down.
They're finding tremendous waste, really waste, more than anything else, I think you could say. Probably fraud and abuse can be added to it.
Employees were told Monday to stay out of the headquarters, and they have been blocked from accessing their emails.
People like me who had access revoked didn't even get this email to not come in. I heard about that through the grapevine.
By Monday afternoon, hundreds showed up to protest as Democratic lawmakers held a press conference denouncing the move.
Stopping this will require action by the courts and for Republicans to show up and show courage and stand up for our country.
The lawmakers say Congress approved the government agency and only they have the power to shut it down. Erica Brown, CBS News, the White House.
And analysts believe U.S. consumers could soon start feeling the effects of the tariffs on goods from Canada and China. Kelly O'Grady shows us where prices may go up.
A trip to the grocery store could get more expensive. Canada is the #1 foreign supplier of beef and poultry to the U.S. With importers facing a 25% tariff, economists predict many stores will be forced to increase prices in the coming weeks, depending on inventory and sourcing. The tariffs on Mexican imports are on hold, but if they're eventually imposed, it could affect prices for fruit, vegetables, and other goods. Yessi Noyola's shop near Dallas sells imported candy from Mexico.
Suppliers will have to raise their prices, which in turn will cause retail locations like myself to raise our prices.
The tariff on Chinese goods could impact almost every U.S. industry, according to supply chain expert Patrick Penfield.
We import a lot of base ingredients from China that's used in a lot of various industries. So you're talking pharmaceutical, you're talking the toy industry, you're talking electronics. So almost every industry in the United States would be impacted.
That would include the automobile industry.
How many of these cars are we going to see an increase on?
Well, you're going to see it on that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one.
We recently spoke with New Jersey car dealership owner Tom Maioli.
It's not just the vehicles, it's the parts that go in the vehicles. And those parts come from all over the world. And as those tariffs come in, depending on where those parts come from, it's going to impact every vehicle, SUVs, cars, hybrids.
And the gas that powers those cars could also cost more. The U.S. imports oil from Canada. Analysts say a tariff could lead to higher prices at the pump in a couple of months. Kelly O'Grady, CBS News, New York.
Well, just outside of Washington, D.C., a growing memorial near the crash site of the deadliest aviation disaster in nearly 25 years. Last week, an American Airlines jet and an Army Black Hawk collided near Reagan National Airport, killing all 67 on board. Family members gathered near the Potomac River and were greeted by an honor guard of first responders dressed in uniform. A large memorial wreath could also be seen near the bank of the river. And new today, the National Transportation Safety Board says it has found the cockpit voice recorder from the Learjet that crashed in Philadelphia on Friday. It was a medical jet that plummeted on a busy street, killing all 6 on board, including a pediatric patient who had just finished treatment at Shriners Children's Hospital. One person on the ground was also killed in the explosion. Back here at home, Mokulele Airlines says it plans to return to full flight operations starting today. The company grounded its fleet nearly 2 weeks ago due to maintenance issues. Mokulele's president and COO says they made efforts to accommodate all passengers across their network and worked to increase flights last week. The state transportation department says Mokulele was able to charter some flights for passengers to transport those in extreme need, including medical professionals. Well, coming up, a chance for Oahu residents to weigh in on the proposed new Aloha Stadium Entertainment District. Details on tonight's community meeting. And an opportunity for Hawaii high schoolers to get hands-on experience in a possible career in healthcare. How to get involved after the break. Welcome back. Maui's eviction moratorium is set to expire tomorrow. Governor Josh Green is calling attention to Act 202, a law that establishes a fair mediation-based process for resolving rent disputes between landlords and tenants. Starting Wednesday, landlords and tenants can get free state-funded mediation facilitated by Maui Mediation Services. Those services will be available at the website posted on your screen. A community meeting is scheduled for this evening on the new Aloha Stadium project. Officials will outline their vision for the proposed entertainment district in Halava. They'll offer a question and answer session and a presentation on their vision for the estimated $450 million project. The complex will be built over the next 20 years and include a stadium, shops, a school, and 4,000 housing units. The briefing will be held in the Aloha Stadium Hospitality Room on Salt Lake Boulevard. That is at 6:30 p.m. Head to our website for a link to pre-register. You'll also be able to submit questions and comments for the meeting. Kaiser Permanente is offering exciting opportunities for high school students looking to explore careers in healthcare. Casey Lund is in Moanalua with more.
Aloha from Kaiser Permanente's Moanalua Medical Center. This is a pretty cool program. We're talking about it because this is really a great opportunity for young people to get at least an idea of what working in the healthcare industry would be like. I want to talk to Jackie Fernando to start with. We also have Dr. Selena Lowe with us and Anna Ung, who's come up through this internship volunteer program, I should say. I'll start with Jackie. Tell us a little bit about how this program works and how Kaiser Permanente is investing in young people here in Hawaii and trying to get them interested, at least, in a healthcare career.
Yes, we've always had our volunteer programs here, but for the past 2 years, we really focused on our high schools here to get in there and let them know that this opportunity exists. We get them into this program and kind of place them in departments that they want to kind of know more about, get their feet wet a little bit before they make that commitment to go to college. And we kind of tailor them and help them in that pathway to go with volunteering and then doing the internships, then they graduate college and then get them right back in as employees. So it's really just making that, creating their resume just a bit more competitive in the market so that we can help them with their career journey.
And beyond that, and I want to go to Dr. Serena Lowe now, beyond that, now you've already got folks that you know, like yourself, who can kind of help guide you through the next steps, and you have that networking, which I think is probably hugely valuable.
Yes, so we have a network within Kaiser Permanente. We have other physicians who are also mentoring students. We have other programs, like after, these high school students graduate and go on to college, we have other programs that are more geared for college graduates as well, too.
And I want to ask, before I get over to Anna, because we've talked about this earlier today, you didn't necessarily have somebody kind of mentoring you through. How helpful would it have been to have somebody that's already been through all this?
Yeah, I struggled. It took me a few years to get into medical school, and now I'm helping students that get in on their first time. But, a lot of times if you don't get in for the first time, you feel really down. And so this is where I come in and say, hey, you can do this. And all of them have gotten in.
That's got to be a pretty special feeling to see them kind of go on. And I want to talk to Anna now, too, because you've come through this volunteer program. Tell me a little bit about how it works and what you found most valuable going through it.
Yeah, I think it's really cool just to get that first exposure to being a part of the healthcare system. It was my first time being part of the hospital group. And as a volunteer, I got to do a lot of the different things that really makes me feel like Kaiser really cares about the details. But I think what was most valuable for me was my time in the activity room, where I got face-to-face time with patients and really solidified for myself, this is what I want to do. I want to work with people. I want to help with people. I want to help people and work directly with them. And it's also where I met Dr. Lowe for the first time and started this mentor-mentee relationship. And I truly feel like I would not be where I am without her.
That's so awesome. Ladies, I want to thank you so much for being with us today. By the way, we should mention it is National Women Physicians Day on this Monday morning, so we appreciate you guys being with us. Again, if you want more information on the volunteer and internship programs through Kaiser Permanente, you can go to kp.org. We also have a link in the As Seen on Sunrise section of our homepage at hawaiinewsnow.com. We'll send things back to you for now.
Thank you so much, Casey. City Lifeguard trials were held over the weekend at Ala Moana Beach Park. Honolulu Ocean safety teams and recruits complete a 1,000-yard run and a 1,000-yard swim within 25 minutes. They then had to complete a 300-yard swim run in under 3 minutes, as well as a 400-yard rescue board paddle in under 4 minutes.
I've been thinking about it for a while, but it's finally coming together, and I just hope I can get through the next two parts without any hiccups.
Those who pass the physical exam will be interviewed for a position later this week. Pay starts at about $24 an hour.
And stick around. Coming up after the break, I'll give you a look at our first alert weather headlines. We've got cool air and a couple of weak fronts. Mark?
Thank you, Drew. And a reminder, Telemundo Hawaii is the Spanish language home for the Super Bowl. Check it out this Sunday for a fresh, fun, and exciting way to watch the big game. Chiefs-Eagles, going to be a good one. Live coverage begins at 1:30 p.m.
Now, First Alert Weather with Drew Davis.
Well, happy Monday, everybody. This week is looking a lot different than last week. We've kind of got a calm weather pattern across most of the island chain. We've got some cool air still moving in with these northerly winds that we have outside, and also a couple of weak fronts, one that's moving in today and tomorrow, and another one at the end of this week, which may bring a better chance for some rainfall. Just taking a look outside right now, let's go to our island by island forecast for tomorrow. We're expecting kind of a copy and paste forecast of today, a better chance for some windward showers out there throughout Tuesday. As we go over to Kauai, mostly sunny and breezy, northerly winds between 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here on Oahu, mostly sunny. A cool start to the day. Some low temperatures will be in the mid to low 60s. Northeasterly winds around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And over on Maui County, isolated showers, partly sunny. Northeasterlies between 5 to 15 miles per hour. Notice those low temperatures relatively cool and chilly out there. On Hawaii Island, Kailua Kona, 67 degrees as you're waking up tomorrow, 81 for a high temperature, mostly sunny. Moving over to Hilo, 64 for a low, 78 for a high, isolated showers and mostly sunny. And of course, we're seeing windward showers out there, a better chance for rainfall over the windward portions of each island. A quick look at your first alert checklist. This is what you need this week: shades, your surfboard, and also a blanket, because it's going to be cold as you're waking up each morning. Right now, our temperature is around 79 degrees, east northeasterlies around 8 miles per hour in town. And just a quick look at our first alert radar and satellite outside. We've got a couple of spotty showers just offshore, but relatively dry across most of the state. I want to zoom out and show you something that's really interesting about that system that we saw last week. Here's that front. It's off to our east and southeast. It's completely falling apart. It's the same system that brought all of that heavy rainfall last Thursday and Friday, but it's still attached to that low pressure system. Currently, it's bringing a lot of heavy rainfall for California. They're expecting another, it's essentially an atmospheric river event where they see a lot of heavy rainfall and flooding as this just moves a lot of tropical moisture up towards California. This is the same system that caused all the heavy rainfall here in Hawaii. Our first alert futurecast going forward, you can see this weak front that we've been talking about moves in late tonight. Couple of windward showers. That's the best chance for rainfall out there. It'll still give us some rainfall throughout Tuesday evening as well. And still windward rainfall. It's a very typical trade wind pattern where we're seeing windward spotty showers out there, mostly dry over leeward areas. A similar story as we're going into Thursday and Friday. Our winds outside right now, northeasterlies, a little bit more northerly this morning, and they'll get more northeasterly over the next couple of days. You can actually see that in our first alert windcast going forward. More northeasterly winds and still cool air moving in across the state, but a little bit of a better chance for some moisture out there. Surf and shoreline forecast for tomorrow morning. North-facing shores 12 to 16 feet. West-facing shores 5 to 7. East-facing shores relatively small, around 2 to 4 feet. And here's your first alert 7-day forecast. Mahalo to Andy for sending in this photo. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, sunshine out there and cool weather. Low temperatures in the mid to low 60s and our high temperatures just around 80 degrees.
Well, we could be in for a longer stretch of winter conditions. Yesterday was Groundhog Day, and famous groundhog Punxsutawney Phil predicted 6 more weeks of winter after emerging from his burrow and seeing his shadow. This was the 139th year that the town gathered to celebrate the tradition. Not all groundhogs were in agreement, however. New York's Long Island Chuck predicted an early spring, so if you rely on groundhogs to tell you the weather, you'll have to just wait and see who got it right this year. That's why we listen to guys like Drew Davis. We'll have more news for you after the break.
It's time for some good news now. A parent in Australia is making headlines for the way she keeps cool.
This is very cool. Take a look. Pinaroo the parrot found a fun way to beat the heat recently when she hopped around under a hose in her enclosure for a refreshing splash. Melbourne's Zoo 22-year-old eclectic parrot loves to flap around in the spray of the hose, which mimics the precipitation of her tropical rainforest home. Staff at the zoo said Pinaroo is offered the opportunity to hop into the hose's spray rather than sprayed directly with the hose. Very resourceful right there.
Yeah, very resourceful. Here's something you definitely don't want to see in your pool. An officer in Florida helped a resident get a crocodile away from a home. Video from the sheriff's office in the Florida Keys shows Sergeant James Hager using a shovel to help a resident scare away the unwelcome guest. Eventually, the two men were able to shoo the crocodile off the property before it had the chance to take a dip in the pool. That's definitely something I would not want to see in a pool.
Very terrifying surprise, right?
Yeah.
Well, Drew Davis, we love our sports.
Yeah.
We got Super Bowl week is here. But of course, the big story over the weekend, what happened in the NBA? The mammoth seismic trade. Luka Doncic, generational superstar from the Mavericks, going to the LA Lakers for Anthony Davis.
Yeah, and you know, I'm from Dallas.
Yes.
And like, I don't keep up with basketball that much, but this is just such a big deal. All of my Mavs fans, friends that are fans of the Mavericks, they are completely devastated. It doesn't make sense. I know everybody is frustrated. It makes me angry.
Especially in a day and age, right, where any sort of whisper of any deal like this, it's leaked out and it's talked about for weeks before it happens. This was sudden, this is huge, and it's going to have ripple effects for years to come.
Yep.
I'm sorry, Drew.
It makes me sad. I feel like Dallas sports is cursed, Mark. It's hard to be a fan.
Join us at First at 4, everyone. Thank you for tuning in.